I would like to, in the beginning, make five observations. First, number one, the MPC remains committed to restoring the balance between inflation and growth, which has got unsettled recently. Two, the Reserve Bank will use its various policy instruments to create the conditions for restoring the inflation growth balance. Three, the credibility of the flexible inflation targeting framework needs to be preserved. Four, inflation has to be brought down in the interest of sustainable growth. Five, prudence, practicality, and timing. I repeat, prudence, practicality, and timing will continue to be the guiding principles for the Reserve Bank's future actions. It is all about dissection of the inflation growth conditions and acting accordingly. Timing of actions is the key. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before we begin, I'll request the media friends present here to wait for their turn. You may see my colleagues on the aisle. They have the mics with them, so they'll give you the mics, and please speak in the mic because otherwise you'll not be audible to outsiders. And in the interest of time, as I always say, please restrict to one question per person, and if time permits, we can consider the other one. Sir, there are 24 participants from media today, and with your kind permission, I'll start calling out their names. So I'll start with Mr. Yogesh from Doordarshan.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, despite the reduction in the GDP forecast, the rates are basically maintained. The status quo is maintained, but the CRR was reduced by 50 basis points. What is the thinking behind that? Thank you.
I think I have explained it elaborately in the statement which I presented earlier today morning. And as regards growth, the second half of this year looks better than the first half. The first quarter of this year, there were issues of, that coincided with the election season, countrywide election. Probably that affected, in particularly government expenditure. Second quarter, the reasons for the slowdown we have explained. Monsoon, continuing monsoon rainfall also affected activities, particularly in mining, in electricity demand. Manufacturing also was slow. So I have explained why we expect the second half to be better this year, better than the first half. And on inflation, I have also given a path, we have also given a roadmap. So we need more credible evidence that things are happening the way we are expecting. That the direction of developments, the direction of evolving conditions, the outlook is playing out in line with our expectations. And then, as I have just now mentioned, it's a question of timing. You have to appropriately time your actions. When there is a time for a particular action, be it rate cut, be it liquidity action, be it whatever is the action, they have to be well timed. They have to be timed in a manner keeping the outlook in mind, and also action has to be taken when it is really going to be most effective and impactful.
Thank you, sir. Next we'll have Mr. Manojit Saha from Business Standard.
Thank you, sir. Let me ask something which is there in everybody's mind. Have you heard anything from the government so far, whether you are continuing this term, at least informally, before the policy meeting started. I will have one more question today. Yes.
Is that your only question?
No, I will have one more.
No. Let's stick to monetary policy. Please ask your question on monetary policy. Otherwise, you will miss your chance on asking a question on the monetary policy. So you choose which one you want to ask.
Okay, since I
It's
have
your
asked my-
choice.
Okay.
I'm willing to answer the first question also, but it's your choice.
Okay, please answer the first question then.
Okay, I'm not giving you any headline, and I think it's better we stick to monetary policy. Thank you.
Thank you,
But
sir.
you can ask your main question,
Yeah,
please.
The question I wanted to ask also is, how did you get the growth estimate so wrong for the Q2? You know, you projected 7% even in October. It came out at 5.4%. So what exactly went wrong in the projection?
I would request Deputy Governor Michael Patra to take that question.
There is a lot of commentary on that already in the press. If you look at the demand side, the main problem is investment. On the supply side, the main problem is manufacturing, and the two are intertwined. In the manufacturing, the biggest issue is the slump in the sales growth, and that is reflecting inflation hitting the urban consumer. So when sales growth is down, companies do not want to invest in new assets because they see demand as moderate, and it can be met from existing capacity. Since they don't want to engage in new capacity creation, investment is down. So the underlying slowdown in growth is because of inflation.
Thank you, sir. I'll now request Mr. Ankur Mishra from ET Now.
Good afternoon, Governor. I want to understand the inflation scenario which you have explained. You are also maintaining that in Q4 the situation might be slightly better, while in Q3 the upper side risk remains. Last time you had mentioned about the horse bringing back to stable. What is the scenario now? Is it the scenario that a controlled trot may continue, or you see that you need tighter reins to control the horse?
The horse has made a very valiant effort to bolt. Our effort is to keep it in tight leash.
Thank you, sir. May I now ask Mr. Vishwanath Nair from NDTV Profit?
Good afternoon, Governor. The first question is, you mentioned that if growth continues to linger lower, then you may need policy support. You are admitting that Q2 was looking weaker, even though the rest of the financial year may look better. Your cut on the growth projections is sharper than your hike on inflation projections. I still want to understand why then the status quo, because it's clear that you have a growth bias in your commentary.
No, whether I have a growth bias or inflation bias, I think it's for you to interpret. But if you recall, before I presented my statement, I made some extempore opening remarks where I have exactly explained our approach. Why monetary policy is important, what exactly is the mandate given to the Reserve Bank. In the Reserve Bank of India Act, the provision is very clear. And our effort is always to follow the legal provision, the mandate given to us, both with regard to inflation and growth. Our effort is to follow it in letter and spirit. There is no, in the life of a central bank, there is no scope, there is no room for knee-jerk reaction. We need more credible evidence. We need more evidence with regard to how the outlook is likely to be, and based on that assessment, the effort is always to take action in time. Whatever action, I'm not talking about rate cut or again, but whatever action we take, it has to be well timed, and it depends on the outlook. No room for knee-jerk reaction, because you take a certain knee-jerk reaction which you may have to reverse. So you should not, one should not regret. But let me tell you very clearly that our effort has always been to remain in line with the curve, never fall behind the curve, and I think we are maintaining that trend.
If If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.